Shalom, Israel. My name is Officer Kayad, one out of I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say Yahweh Basham Awashai Barakatam to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Basham Awashai to my sisters. Alright, so today's perception of Christianity is this, you know what I mean? This loving religion that everybody's talk about, love or love, you know what I mean? Love everybody, Jesus love everybody. But, you know what I mean, in the past, Christianity was not this quote-unquote loving religion, you know what I mean? Over here in the Americas, when, you know what I mean, the Christians came to colonize the Americas, they spread Christianity with the sword. You understand? When the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi was being persecuted in Spain and Portugal, we were being persecuted by Christians. You know what I mean? We were being lynched by Christians. So the past does not have, you know what I mean, a pleasant history of Christianity. Today, it is still not pleasant, you know, but you know what I mean? Our people would like to believe that lie, you know what I mean, and live delusional. But we are going to show you what our native brothers, the Tainos, who lived over here in the West Indies and the Americas, thought about Christians. You know what I mean? So we are going to give a quote, you know what I mean? Just a little usurp from the book of, you know what I mean? This book is called Lost Tribe and the Promised Land, written by Ronald Sanders. You understand? An excellent book to know, you know what I mean, about our brothers, the Native American, the Puerto Ricans, you understand, our Mexican brothers, and know their family lineage. You understand that they are the children of Israel. It's a great book. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding General YAHANNA, you know what I mean? Information like this would never have come out. But, you know what I mean? We're going to jump to a situation now where in Cuba, you know what I mean? In the time of the Spanish conquistadors, you understand, when they were you know what I mean, pillaging the Americas and the Caribbean islands. See? They were putting to death our brothers, the Taino Indians, you know what I mean, in cruel fashion, in a terrible and cruel fashion, you know what I mean, in many cases, even them own people see it and say, boy, it's a terrible thing, but, you know what I mean, in this situation, they were about to kill or execute a kakig. We know that a kakig is like a chief, right, of a Taino, of the Tainos, and this was in Cuba. You understand? Let me read. You know what I mean? It says, yet the Inquisition certainly is there in such passages as this one describing the murder of the Cuban Kakig Atui. So this Cuban Kakig name was Atui. You know what I mean? Our Northern Kingdom brother. You know what I mean? He was a Taino, or a Taino Indian, as they call our brothers. See? After Atui was tied to the stake, a Franciscan friar, one of the holy men who were there, began telling him about God and our faith, about which he had never heard anything before. So as they were about to crucify him, like how them crucify Christ, you know what I mean, a black man from the tribe of Judah, have him tied to a stake, see, or tied to, you know what I mean, same way them lynch black people in America, but you know what I mean, this Franciscan friar, which is somewhat like a Catholic priest, you know what I mean, was basically reading him his rights before him die and telling him about God, the Christian Catholic Christian church, God, that white Jesus, you understand, and about heaven and hell. Let me read, see? And about the few things that it might suffice for him to do in the little time left him by the executioner. if he want to go to heaven, where he have Slakia, where he would have glory and eternal peace, instead of to hell, where he would suffer perpetual torment. So him basically I read him rights before him put him to death. And I tell him, say, this is what you can do before, you know what I mean, you are executed, so that you go to heaven and not hell. You know what I mean? Preaching to him the Christian doctrine before him go to hell or heaven. You know what I mean? Or to prevent him from go to hell so that he can go to heaven. You understand? Let me continue reading. So this is what the Kakig, you know what I mean, did. Zin? Thinking about it a moment, Atui asked the friar if all Christians go to heaven. Right, so the Kakig thinking about what this Catholic priest or Catholic church friar said, thinking about heaven and hell. So him asks the Catholic friar, saying, does all Christians go to heaven? And this is what the friar said. The friar said, yes. Then the Kakig replied, without further hesitation, that he would rather go to hell than have to be among such cruel people. You understand? This Taino chief chose to go to hell rather than to share heaven with a people so cruel. And these people were Christians, because his experience with Christians weren't your clapping and your singing in that Christian church. He was being put to death by said Christians. And these Christians were the people who enslaved, torture, and genocide in people. So why is it that our people so lovingly accept Christianity when our ancestors would rather go to hell than to share heaven with Christians based on their experience with Christians? You understand? We are going to read another passage. See? And this is what the Indians, our brothers, our Taino Indians brothers, thought about Christians. You understand? Loving church folk. You understand? As you think they, you know what I mean, Christianity is today. Let me continue, let me read. The Indians cared little or nothing for what was told them, and conversing among themselves said, the Christians lied, that we had come whether the sun riseth and they whence it go down. We heal the sick, they kill the sound. So, you know what I mean? Our Taino brothers realize the obvious, that Christians are liars. Meanwhile, we heal the sick, them kill the sound. People who aren't even sick, Christians put them to death. Let me continue reading. Zin, we heal the sick, they kill the sound, that we had come naked and barefoot, while they had arrived in clothes and horses with lances, that we were not covetous of anything, but all that was given to us we directly turned to give, remaining with nothing, that the others had the only purpose to rob whomsoever they found, bestowing nothing on anyone. So their experience with Christians were that even though they were so willing to give all they had to the Spaniards, the Christians, who, you know what I mean, who landed on their shores, all they came to do was rob and to kill and to give nothing back. That is their experience with Christianity. That is our ancestors, you know what I mean, experience with Christianity. So why is our people so, you know what I mean, accepting of Christianity as if it's their saving grace, when it's Christianity who enslave our people? It is the oppressor's religion that he used to justify our enslavement. You understand? Our ancestors don't see Christianity or you see it. Christianity is a curse to them. All right, we're going to jump to another passage. See? Slakia. And this is a massacre, another massacre in Cuba. You understand? It was customary among the Spaniards that one man chosen by the captain would take charge of distributing the food and other things given them by the Indians. You understand? So the Indians give them food and them distribute it. You understand? As this was being done, the captain and the other soldiers and their horses and the padre Las Casas, watching the bread and the fish being handed out, suddenly one of the Spaniards drew his sword, saying that he saw the devil before him. You understand? So he's making an accusation that him see the devil before him, looking at our brother. You know what I mean? And thinking that our brother is the devil. Him draw him sword, ready to kill. Let me continue reading. Then 100 Spaniards also draw their sword and begin to cut them down like sheep out of nothing. You know what I mean? One Spaniard decide that he's gonna pass a remark that one of the Indians look like the devil. You understand? Now him draw him sword and all the other Spaniards them draw them sword. See, because them have our brothers line up, you know what I mean, while they are handing out food, fish and bread. See, let me cut it. And that is symbolic, that fish and that bread, to show you who these people were. Let me continue reading. See? Then 100 Spaniards all draw their swords and began to cut them down like sheep, killing and disemboweling men and women, children and older people, all of whom had been calmly sitting and watching the Spaniards and their horses in amazement. In other words, them start massacre the people them without justification, because all they were doing was just sitting down and watching them and them horses in amazement. Them start disemboweling men and women and children. You know what it means to disembowel? Mean them shoot them sword through them belly and cut out them belly. After one stupid accusation of one Spaniard, not justified, the massacre these our brothers. See, let me continue reading. And in a few moments, not a single one of them was still alive, so them kill off everybody. See? Then the Spaniards entered the large house of the village and likewise commenced to stab and slash to death everyone they found inside, until there was a river of blood, as if a multitude of cows had been slaughtered. You know what I mean? So they went from, you know what I mean, one place to the next and just slaughter people like cows. You know what I mean? That was the treatment that Christianity brought. So, you know what I mean? All of you good church-going Christians, what do you really represent? You understand? When you say that you're under the blood of Jesus, you understand? Are you saying you're responsible for the death of Christ? Because Christians are the ones that kill Christ's people. You understand? Are you saying that, you know what I mean, you are with the destruction of Christ's people? Because Christians came to the West Indies and came to the Americas and killed Christ's people. Let me jump to another passage. And it was, you know what I mean, it was common knowledge. Christopher Columbus, like I said, knew that the Taino Indians and the Arawaks were the children of Israel. You understand? And it was a knowledge, unlike today, that was more commonly known. If it wasn't for the I.S.U.P.K and a commanding general, YAHANNA, today that would be a last secret. But back in this time, people knew. Christians knew that our Taino brothers, our Arawak, our native, our, you know what I mean, native Indian and not, what you call it, Natianos, if may have said correctly, were the children of Israel. Let me read. See, this is the same book, Lost Tribe and the Promised Land. And this is page 83 to 84. And this is what it says. Along with this racial Christianity, Slakia, let me find it. Slakia. Right, this is the quote. The same can be said for the new Christian. Remember, you know, Christians came to this shore and killed off the Indians, them, you know, our brothers, you know, massacred them, you know, our Taino brothers, you know. See, listen, the same can be said for the new Christian religion of geographical discovery. The creed that we might call Columbian, see, which we have seen in various early manifestations and which has now found its marks in Bartolome de las Casas, among Las Casas most direct successors in this creed. The vision of the Indians' destiny as a Jewish one is far more explicit, for they will see the New World native as descendants of the lost tribe of Israel. So, in this Christian doctrine that this creed that they had in their Christian religion, you understand? In this time, they saw our native brothers as being the descendants of the lost sheep of the house of Israel, the lost tribes of Israel. That was what they taught in the very same Christianity that came over here and murdered our brothers. So, if Christians knew that we were Israelites, why is Christianity teaching now that they don't know who the Israelites were? Why is when we ask the Christian pastor who are the Israelites, he says he don't know and it don't matter? When Christianity came over here knowing that our Taino brothers were Israelites and killed them. So you can't really say a Christianity you not learn now. That was not Christianity. Christianity knew that the Israelites lived over here and killed them. Yet still Christianity hold up the book written by the Israelites called the Bible and say that they are the authority of that book and teaching you that you should love, you know what I mean, according to how they love. When in fact the love that Christians came over here with was murder and genocide. We are going to jump to some scripture now. You know what I mean? Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also leave your comments. You understand? We're going to jump to the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 6. And we're going to start at verse 21. And it said, therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will lay stumbling blocks before this people, and the fathers and the sons together shall fall upon them. The neighbor and his friend shall perish. And that is what happened to these brothers. You know what I mean? When this Spaniard captain made the accusation that he saw the devil in one of our brothers, and all of them draw them sword and start stab up and kill our brothers and sisters. See in verse 22, thus saith the Lord, behold, a people cometh from the north country. You understand? A great nation shall be raised from the side of the earth. They shall lay hold on bows and spears. They are cruel. And this is the people that our brothers encountered, these cruel people. Like when the Kakig said that he would rather go to hell than to share heaven with cruel people like these. These are the cruel people that they encountered and have no mercy. Their voice roar like the sea, and they ride upon horses, set in array as men for war against thee, O daughter of Zion. And they come against, you know what I mean, the children of Israel, daughter of Zion. You understand? They came against the Israelites, but they came with Christianity. You understand? So, for all our brothers who and sisters who love this Christian religion, what are you really promoting? What are you really a part of? Our ancestors knew that Christians were cruel and liars and murderers. What are you a part of? You understand? If you want to learn the Bible the right way and learn your culture and your history, you will come out of that Christian church and come to Commanding General YAHANNA and the I.S.U.P.K. and let us teach you the Bible. You will watch our videos and our classes and share these videos around and like and subscribe to our channels. You understand? And sit down ardently and religiously and watching our videos and learn your history instead of learning from that Christian pastor who's teaching you lies, because what he's teaching is not even the Christianity that came over here. It's a new one. It transforms into something different. To suit your brainwash mind or to brainwash your brain. But that is not the Christianity that came over here. The Christianity that came over here came with swords and spears and guns, and they massacred the Most High people, who is written off in the very Bible where them read. It's a conspiracy. And with that, you know what I mean, like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, share on all social media platforms. You understand? Shalom.